Hey everybody, this is Natalie from Champion of Coins Tarot, and I'm here today to do a very exciting unboxing video. This is a deck that I have wanted for several months, and I'm just so thrilled to finally have it in my collection. And it's the Hardy Tarot by Colleen Hardy. This is the full bleed through edition. This is the first edition of her deck that is borderless, or virtually borderless, I should say. And I'm really, really excited about that. I also believe that the cards are a little bit smaller than the other editions that are out there, which makes me happy because I have like really tiny baby hands. So yes, I'm excited. I literally just got home, ate dinner, took this out of its packaging so that way I wouldn't have to reveal my address or anything like that. So I have no idea what is inside. And I also haven't looked at all of the cards yet, just because I really love to surprise myself whenever I get a new deck. I like to keep a few things just, to be revealed in the moment, I should say. Just a couple of surprises. So before I get into the cards, I also want to show you real quick. She included one of her postcards that I believe is available in her Etsy shop as well. And I absolutely love this. It says, "Happiness is a form of courage." And that is just something that is very fitting to my current headspace and the things that I'm thinking about right now and processing. It's just an absolutely gorgeous card. If you know nothing else about me, just know that I love dogs, I love wolves, and this is definitely going to be incorporated into my room decor. Alright, so this is a special collector's edition. There are 50 copies. Mine is number 27. So if anybody is interested in getting this deck, I highly encourage you to get on that, because it's not going to be there forever. Alright. Here are the backs of the cards. And that is just stunning, first off. Can I just say that that is absolutely gorgeous. I'm utterly in love. I could look at it all day. And this also happens to match the Serpentine that decided that it wanted to live with this deck. So that's really beautiful. Okay. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and do a flip through, and I'm sorry that I'm a little bit awkward. I'm a little bit out of practice. I haven't done a review or flip through in a while, and I'm also using my sister's camera and tripod to film this because I just can't upload anything at my parents' house because the Wi-Fi is really horrible. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I really love the energy of this deck just right out of the packaging. So here's the Fool. The Magician. I love this High Priestess card. I have to admit, I am not usually a High Priestess fan when it comes to a lot of decks. I'm not sure why that is. It's just an archetype that I really just haven't taken the time to connect with as well as I have with other ones. But this is gorgeous. This is a card that I could really see myself meditating with, that I could just get lost in. And I think I just really appreciate how this is a very lunar card. As you all know, the High Priestess is a very lunar energy. And there are the moon phases, there are the stars. She is centered on top of the crescent moon. But I love that the sun is behind her. I think it brings so much joy and so much approachability, so much friendliness to this card that I don't typically see in other decks, which is really interesting. I also like so far how each of the borders for the major arcana cards are different colors that match the scheme and that kind of match the energy of each card. So I think that's really lovely. The Empress. The Empress card makes or breaks the deck for me. I'm not gonna lie, and this is absolutely stunning. I love the three faces. I love that she's holding a lamb. I feel like this, again, like with the High Priestess, this is a card that I could really see myself just getting lost in. You know, this is one that I could just meditate with, that I could journal with, that I could explore. I hope that it's focusing correctly. I don't know if it is or not on the camera. Like I said, this is going to be probably filled with technical difficulties. The Emperor. I'm not that big on this depiction of the Emperor, I have to admit. It's beautiful, though. It's beautiful. It's just not my favorite. But I think it fits with the aesthetic of the deck so far. Here is the Priest, and I love this. I love this card. This version of the Hierophant just, this gives me chills. This really does. I think that the stars in the background are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm trying to articulate my thoughts about this correctly. I feel like this captures both the structure, both the tradition, both the kind of hesitancy and fear that a lot of people have towards this card, especially within the New Age community, more so than with other traditions. I feel like there is a sense of dogma. I feel like there is a sense of just kind of obstinacy. There is a sense that this is a force that is unmovable, that is ancient, that is difficult to challenge. But at the same time, I think that the stars in the background, I feel like there's so much knowledge there as well. I feel like you can't judge a book by its cover. I feel like this is a priest, or this is a Hierophant who, yes, is intimidating and may be a little bit out of place at the times, but you can't discount what he has to say. You know, you can't dismiss him so easily, because I feel like there are a lot of lessons and there are a lot of truth. There is a lot of good intention and a lot of light and some aspect of the divine within this kind of archetype, because otherwise it would not last as long as it has, and it would not have the power, and it would not have the kind of agency that it has. So I really, really like this depiction. The Lover's card. This is my favorite Lover's card that I have ever seen, to be honest. I would love to get the full-size print of this, just for my bedroom, for my meditative space. This is stunning. This is stunning. The Chariot. I love, 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 love this depiction of justice. Justice is another card, like the Empress, that it will make or break a deck for me. It has to be on point, as the kids would say, and I really love this. The Hermit. I think that this is a very interesting choice, to be honest. I love, first of all, that it's a woman, that it's a young woman. I think that that's very interesting. And I also think the kind of energy, the background especially, adds a new dimension, because it's almost like the Fool in a sense, more so than the actual Fool card in this deck, just because we have the ledge, we have this void, we have this water in the background that she's about to dive into. So it speaks to me a lot of the subconscious. It speaks to me a lot of taking risks and of danger and of the waters of enlightenment. And hang on, I have to let my dog out. And I don't know how to pause this thing either. I really, really probably should have done a test video before I started this, but I'm tired and I'm really excited, and I just want to film this. I just want to film this. So here we have the Wheel of Fortune. I love this. I love the eyes. I love the sphinxes. That is gorgeous. That is really gorgeous. strength. A hanged man. Death. I think this is really interesting. I'm noticing a lot of balance in this deck as far as the depiction of men and women, or male-bodied and female-bodied individuals. Because I know in the Chariot, there's both a man and a woman, and then we have some figures like the Hermit and Death that have been kind of gender swapped, or that have different characters than what we might be used to. So I think that's really gorgeous, and I love the cobwebs. I think that that's really beautiful. Yeah, this is one that I'm going to have to sit with. Temperance. That is just beautiful. That makes me think a lot of Gnosticism. And it also makes me think a lot of Kabbalah and of certain traditions that I've been reading about, in which Adam and Eve were one, that they shared a body, and that when Eve was created, it was literally the division where they were divided in two. And so that's really interesting, the concept of having an agender being, or having a hermaphroditic being, as the image of divinity, as being the reflection of God, as being the first creation. That is something that, again, like, I could just meditate with for hours. I could journal with for hours. I think that this deck is giving me a lot of intuitive hits already, but it's also one that I just kind of want to sit with, and I want to figure out, and I want to unravel. The Devil. The Tower. I love this star. That is gorgeous. Again, I can't tell if this camera is actually focusing or not. I hope it is. But I really love that depiction. I feel like she's facing the darkness head on, you know. She has the hope, and she has the optimism and the faith to go out into the darkness on her own. And I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but there are trees in the background as well. It's like she's illuminating this forest. It's like she's bringing new light in the midst of the darkness. The moon. I love the greyhounds. I love the greyhounds. I love that there's a lot of animal energy in this deck. The sun. I really like the butterflies. I really like that. That's the first thing that my eye was drawn to, over the human figures, actually. Judgment. I don't know if you can see, but there is an infinity sign, a lemniscate, on top of the owl. And I love that. I love that it's like an angelic figure. And then the geometry in the background, it makes me think that they are facing the eye of God, that they are directly confronting this mystical reality and this truth. I think that's gorgeous. And then the world. This might be my favorite world card. I love the way that the figures in the four corners are drawn. I think that is just absolutely stunning. I love the color scheme. I love her expression. I love her dance. I really, really like the majors in this deck. Now onto the minors. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but one reason why I also just wasn't immediately drawn to this deck at first, or at least why I decided to wait as long as I did before purchasing, was because I feel like it's very Thoth-inspired. It's not really, from what I've researched and from the videos that I've watched, it's not really a Rider-Waite-Smith or a Thoth clone exactly. it's kind of like its own animal, but I think that from what I've seen of the minors, they are very, very thoughtish. And since I have basically just fallen down the rabbit hole, I have completely been consumed, and I've completely just been overwhelmed with all kinds of thoth information this summer. I felt like I was comfortable enough in that study and in that practice to go ahead and bring this deck in. And the minors are even more gorgeous in person. Or at least just the ace is. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I really am so impressed with the detail in this deck. All of the art was hand-drawn, and there's such subtlety and there's such detail in the shading. I love the Two of Wands. This is my favorite Two of Wands card of all time. And it's funny because the Two of Wands isn't a card that I connect with very much because I don't draw it. But I love this card. I fucking love this card. The Three of Wands. Just, oh my god. Just the level of detail. The camera is not picking it up. The camera is not picking it up. It is so amazing and so incredible in person right now. I'm going to have to do some plant research as well, just because there's so many different kinds of flowers and trees within this deck. I love the choice to have crows in the Five of Wands. I think that is stunning. And there is very much the sense of movement. There is the sense of conflict, of personality, of ego clashing and flying about and trying to make your mark, trying to get your voice heard. I will leave you on the Six of Wands as I rescue the dog again. Hello, baby. Baby, you need to star in my videos someday. You're just taking up all the attention, aren't you? I love the Six. That's gonna be a theme. I feel like every single, fuck. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but I love that. The Seven of Wands is a card that I have consistently drawn for myself since, gosh, December of last year. I love this. Looks like there's a heart up at the top of the torch that's being engulfed in flame. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I only have 11 minutes of space left, so I'm going to try my best to speed it up to try to show you everything, but I am beyond impressed. I am beyond impressed. Oh, they have the planetary signs in the Wands and the Nine, which I think is stunning. I'm going to be very, very interested in seeing what comes of the deck in review. Oh my gosh, look at her hair. This is my favorite page of wands as well. I feel like this deck just contains so many of my favorites. One thing that is also just really interesting and really captivating about this deck is that she asked her friends and she asked people that she knew in real life to model for her, just, you know, people in her life that made her think of certain cards that embodied certain archetypes and certain energies. Whoops. And I think that just that attention to detail and also just the amount of realism, the amount of humanity that is apparent in this deck is just really, really beautiful. And I think it's going to be, it's so, just because of the geometry, because of the amount of symbolism and really the detail in the art, there is this sense that this deck is very spiritual and that it is very esoteric. You know, that there's something really quite powerful about that energy. And then you look into the faces of the people and there's something so relatable. There's something so intensely personal about that, which is really incredible. I love this Nine of Cups. I love this Nine of Cups. And the 10. See, this is very, very thothy. Like, this could come straight out of Lady Frida Harris's artwork. And that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. I love the lotus in the center. There's just, oh my gosh, there's so much to play with. Oh my god. This deck is incredible, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love her. I love her nose. They're not conventionally attractive people either, which is something that makes me really happy. There is quite a bit of racial diversity in this deck, at least more so than others. But there's a variation in body type and in facial features. I love this too. I love, 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 love this too. The 3, just quite traditional. If you stuck a heart in the middle of it, it would be very Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, I think. The 4. Okay, I said I would try to speed it up, but I just want to riff about this card for a second because I feel like even though there are the dark clouds, even though there is the movement with the banners, I feel like this is very, very true to the energy of this card for me. And the 4 of Swords is one that means a lot to me. I pull it for myself all the time. It's probably my favorite sword card in the deck, and one of my top 10 at least of all time. But I love that sense of pause and that sense of rest, and I feel like this is the moment of clarity. I feel like this is the moment when you're able to align yourself, when you're able to step back and to see outside of yourself, and you're able to find the point to move towards. You're able to find an anchor or a sense of direction in the midst of chaos or in the midst of great uncertainty, and you're able to make a decision. You're able to, it's like the flash of inspiration, the flash of clarity, the sign of hope that you need in the midst of stress. And so I love that this card depicts more than rest. I feel like really just with the way that the swords are oriented and with the compass rose in the center, I feel like there's this great sense of direction that is really, really powerful. 5, I love this. This is another one of my favorite depictions, like, of the 5 of Swords. Oh my goodness. The 6, the 7, the colors, again, very Thothy. This reminds me so much of the original Thoth artwork. Ooh, the 8. This is one that I hadn't seen before. I quite like that. I quite like the eyes. The 9. That's lovely. The 10. Page. The Prince. So they're not quite Thothy quartz. The renaming of the Knight and the King definitely is Thothy, but there's no Princess, which is interesting. But I feel like there's definitely a relationship between the progression between the masculine and the feminine energies in the quartz, which is interesting. Ooh, I love this 2 of Discs. Balance, 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 baby. I love that. The 3 is interesting. This is a delicious card. I just said it. This is a delicious, delicious card. Ah. Ooh, the 5. I probably should have said that there was going to be nudity in this deck, but if you're still watching, then props to you. The 7. The 8. Love the flowers. Love the literal sunflowers. The 10. the page. I like this Prince of Discs. His face is interesting. This is another character that I would really like to journal with. The Queen. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And the Knight. So I have to say, this deck has surpassed all of my expectations for it. And those are really high to begin with. So that's so exciting. I think that it's very cohesive. I think that there is so much depth, and as soon as I turn off this video, I am literally going to jump straight into journaling and straight into interviewing this deck, because I really want to sink my teeth into it. This deck feels... It's interesting. I feel like this is very much a synthesis of the human and the divine. There is this synthesis between this earthly energy and the celestial energy, and I think it's interesting. It reminds me of St. Thomas Aquinas' writings, actually, in which he does describe the human being as the synthesis, as the point between the natural and the supernatural realms. And I feel like this is a deck that I'm going to be really able to do a lot of shadow work. I'm going to be able to do a lot of psychological work with. I'm going to have to do a follow-up video. Because the depth of my emotion and just the depth of my curiosity towards this deck already cannot be adequately summed up within this this span of time. I feel like this deck has come to me at the exact moment that I need it to, because I feel like there are just so many cards that resonate for me really personally, especially the lovers, and also just at the right point in my tarot journey for it, because I feel just this instant sense of just curiosity. It's like a textbook. I just want to crack it open, and I want to get to work, and I want to learn, and I want to grow, and I'm not intimidated by it. I really feel like this deck is going to be profoundly important to me, and I'm just so grateful for you all to share this moment with me, to share this unboxing. This was really fun to do, and I can't wait to talk to you about this in the next video. So I'm sending you all much love. Bye!